Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, December 12th, 2024, 6 p.m. I'd like to invite Charles Cochran with East Ridge Church of Christ forward to provide our invocation and lead us in our pledge. If everyone will stand.
Our Father, we're grateful that we can call you God and Father and Creator of all. We're grateful, Father, that this meeting can begin looking to you and asking for your wisdom upon the leaders of our great city of East Ridge. We pray, Father, that you will help these people on our commission to make wise decisions that will be best for every citizen of this great city. Father, we pray for our mayor and those who assist him. We pray that you'll watch over and guide them in the very best way possible. We also realize, Father, that we need to be praying to you for our nation. As new leaders will assume the role of leadership in just a few weeks, we pray, Father, that you will grant wisdom to these men and women who will be in positions of leadership over our nation. Father, help us to realize righteousness truly exalts a nation, and help us to be the righteous people that you want us to be. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, sir. Roll call, Ms. Walls.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Tyler. Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Ezell.
Here.
Councilmember Witt. City Manager Miller.
Here.
City Attorney Lucian.
Here. All right, if everyone just bear with me tonight, I'm getting over a little sinuses, so my voices may come and go. The first item we had on the agenda is a presentation and a plaque to our former Vice Mayor, Ellen Haynes. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight, so we're moving that to the next council meeting, which is going to be January the 9th. That's to thank her for her multi-year service to our city, not only as a council member, but also as a vice mayor. So that will be moved to January. The next item is the milestone awards for November. We have one, Clay Smith, 5 years of service. We appreciate his service to our city, along with all the other employees that continually work diligently to make this city great and continue to move in the right progress forward. The next item we have is presentation for the Christmas Parade Awards. Ms. Giles?
If I can go ahead and get mayor and council down to the floor too as we present them and take pictures with everybody, please.
Go ahead, David. Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming tonight. So what we're going to start off with is our first Grand Marshal. Our second one could not be here tonight, but I want to read what we read across as our first Grand Marshal came by. Please welcome 12-year-old Miller Krill, son of our city's very own Assistant Police Chief, Josh Krill, and his fabulous wife, Ashley. This young hero has shown incredible courage and strength while battling Ewing's sarcoma, a rare form of cancer. Through it all, he has remained an inspiration to us all, with a heart as big as his love for the New York Yankees, Shrek, and spending time with his friends. Today, we celebrate not just a brave young fighter, but someone who represents the spirit and determination and joy that makes our community strong. So let's hear it for Miller, our first Grand Marshal, as he leads us through this exciting evening with his courage, resilience, and infectious enthusiasm. Miller. Got that for you? Uh-huh. Do you? I don't know. Probably all of us.
All of you.
Your dad says that right now when Liam and, what was it, who's the other friend that came over to the house the other day? His daddy works for me. Yeah. He said you just came hobbling down through there to get to those doors to see those boys. They talk about you all the time, so, and I can't hold this up. It's like my life. He's got a good memory. That's my You put it in that or down the hallway. Y'all have a good night. I can. It doesn't matter. Okay, so this year I did 3 different categories. So we're going to start with our city services and clubs first. First place.
You too.
I'll let you hold this one real quick.
Okay.
So keep it to yourself.
I won't show you.
Jackie, keep that one to yourself, because we have 2 first place. Everybody's gonna get a turn.
Did you say?
That's a second place. Jeff, you'll get the big ones in a minute. Andy. Okay, so for this year in city services or clubs, 3rd place went to the Eastridge Optimist Club. Miss Andy has
Y'all
your
just get
flag.
one plaque.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Hi, lady, how you doing?
Nice to meet you. What was
How
your
you
name?
doing?
Hi, Miss Carolyn. Good. If y'all all can stay up here and let Miss Hannah get a picture of us all. Stand in front of me, we don't mind. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, guys. So again, for city services and clubs, our 2nd place went to our Eastridge Senior Fit.
Cartwheel.
You gonna do a cartwheel, he said? Don't put it past him, I will.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Oh, you're welcome. Get right here with me. Get right here with us, and Hannah can take a good picture.
Up in here.
One, two, three. Beautiful.
Okay, the next one, we have 2 first places, okay? So I'm going to call you up together because, again, I think it serves us right for city services. So our two first place for city services and clubs goes to our own East Ridge Animal Services and our East Ridge Library. I'll stick around for some pictures. The judges love the dogs. They love the puppies, yeah.
I was a fan of the Star Wars Christmas theme myself.
Perfect.
Thank you.
job.
Okay. Probably not. Okay, our next one is going to be in education. Back with Mr. Cagle. Okay, so this year in education, our third place goes to the East Brainerd Elementary Eagle Flyers.
I know.
Okay.
Yep.
Our second place in our education goes to the East Ridge JROTC. Always my son. Thank you. Guys, if y'all want to get back here with our council, that's where Mr. Urban likes to have the picture. Right here. Yeah, if you want to stand right here, they can. Yeah, if you guys will get up there with the crest and the mayor, and then we'll kind of circle. Yeah, step back. They won't bite you. They won't bite you, guys. Here, you fit right here. Okay. And then you get right here. Yeah, just right here. And then Mr. Jackie's, okay, we're good. Mr. Jackie's right there in the corner. Can you see him? You're shorter than me. Thank you. Thank you. Back up. Okay. So first place for education, second year in a row, is Tyner Academy's marching band.
Congratulations.
It's always a big hit.
If y'all want to line up here, let's take all pictures. We appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah. It's always an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, y'all just get right in here with us. Come on. Yeah. You ain't gonna hurt us. Come on. Just get right on in here with us and we'll take pictures. Come on. We're good. I'll do the look. I'll be like, hi. Been okay? Okay, over here. I know, I'm sure.
One, two, three. Perfect. Wait. Hannah can go down a little further.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Okay. You want that one?
I'll get one.
Got that one?
One more? I can tough it up for one more.
Okay, now down to the last. So this goes to businesses. So this year in the East Ridge Christmas Parade, third place went to the University Diabetes and Associations and DPC. You guys will line up for pictures with us? That's fine, you can. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sean. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, come on, just get right in here with us. We won't bite you, I promise. Come on, you come right here with me.
Going down.
Yeah, come on, you're good. I do like it. Yeah, Mayor's got me down pat.
I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
One, two, three.
Got your picture, Mike?
Okay.
Not your mom? He calls me his mom. That's our head umpire, signed up for soccer.
I've never seen her before in my life.
He has a shirt that says, I know Shauna too, she's my mom, that he wears for indoor. Uh-huh. Okay, so next I have 2 second places for businesses, so I'm going to call them up here separately though. In second place was the Southeast Jeep Club Coalition. Andy's got yours. This is for you. We're going to get a picture. I'll proudly go with that Tennessee stuff, so will the mayor. We're good. For businesses, for the next one, second place went to Chattanooga Inflatables. Doing good.
Hey, good to see you.
Y'all come on and get in the picture. Come on, you can get right here with me. Come on. Yep. Yeah, see, she's short like me, so we'll be good. Jen can come right here, she's short too.
He's too tall.
We have one left. I see her? Where's she
Yes.
go? Making sure she got here on time. So, first place for businesses in the East Ridge Christmas Parade goes to, second year running, Lumberjacks Tree Service. And gonna take all of our pictures. Come on up here.
One, two, three.
Again, I really want to give a shout out to everybody that participated in our Christmas parade. For the past 2 years, we've had like 110 floats, which is a first for us. And I do want to give a shout out to my son. He's not here tonight, Justin. This year, he pretty much single-handedly handled almost every bit of the parade, except for like the pre-stuff between me and Hannah and Chad. I'll have him here next month, but he had a Sugarland concert tonight, so. But I want to thank everybody that participates in our parade, makes our city what it is. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate our city council, our mayor, our city manager, everybody that puts all the efforts into it. Our city department, so Jeff Crow, Robert, they shut our streets down, they put all of our lights up for the Christmas parade. I can't do my job without every single supervisor and city employee. I just never could. I mean, there's not a department that doesn't help us on a daily basis or helps our little city. So again, my heartfelt thanks to everybody. Y'all have a good Merry Christmas. And if you were here for the Christmas Parade Awards, you guys don't have to stay. You're welcome to leave. We love you. They want people in the, but hey, I'm just telling you, you don't have to stay. I know people are hungry, so.
Thank you.
Oh, thank y'all.
Donna,
Yes, ma'am.
can you get her and send me the list to make sure I spell it wrong?
I will. I'll send you that, and then I have to ask them for a week to send me who to write the checks to.
Exactly. Exodus.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I know you're ready to sit down.
Yes, ma'am. Back's killing me.
I was in market.
There's hunting place down there.
I'm so glad that the Optimus won. I'm so glad the Optimus won. We need to teach people how to do the candy.
When me,
I know.
I was afraid you'd get it.
You didn't have any candy.
Stars.
All right. It's great to present awards for our Christmas parade. We're very excited about it every year. It gets bigger and bigger. I will say that, concur what Shauna said. I'd like to give a big thanks out to our employees. They do a heck of a job with this. It's an all-day, if not more than a day event, multi-day, building up weeks, getting prepared and everything. So kudos to them for making it so successful. All right, the next item we have is presentation of our year-end 2023-2024 audit by Garrett Williams, HHM CPAs. Yes, sir. Anything you want to add first? Okay.
I'm gonna let him do the speaking. If I have anything to add here, I will add at the end.
Love it. So like he said, I'm Garrett Williams with HHM CPAs. Kind of have a brief packet of going over the audit. Try not to keep y'all here too long going over the numbers. First couple of slides are just required communications that we must do every year. And then we'll get into some of the high-level views of the numbers for the 24 year. First off, auditor's opinion. We had an unmodified report, which is a clean opinion. It's what you want to have, so that is good news. Next, our responsibility. Our job is to do the audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. And that is to say that we are trying to obtain reasonable assurance that the financials are free of material misstatements. So that is the ultimate goal of our audit. We are required to be independent, the firm, the team of the city, and we all met the independence requirements. Plan, scope, and timing of the audit. The scope and timing is all laid out in the engagement letter that we send out at the beginning of the audit, and we performed the audit in accordance of the plan scope. Significant accounting policies. These are all outlined in note one of the financials. You don't have the financials in front of you, but you will. And they're all outlined in there. There was no significant changes in those for this year. So those will look pretty much the same as last year. Accounting estimates, we evaluate management's estimates to ensure they're reasonable. Most of these, the biggest ones are compensated absences, pension, OPEB-related liabilities and deferrals, and depreciable lives of capital assets. Management and accounting staff, it's always a pleasure to work with Diane and her team. They're very easygoing. It's one of the audits I do enjoy to come out, especially since it's so close. So it's nice not having to travel very far for it. But they do a great job at getting us what we need and helping us work through it. So I know it's not always fun having us out, but they help us get through it. Consultations with other accountants. We did not have any consultations with other accountants, and we weren't aware of any other consultations with other accountants. Corrected and uncorrected misstatements. We made some adjustments, mainly related to deferring some grant revenues and reconciling interfund account balances just to make sure those balance throughout the funds. We also had some uncorrected misstatements that we passed on as they were small and immaterial to the financials, related to truing up some various payables and receivables accounts during the audit. Deficiencies in internal control, we had a couple of findings, mainly related to truing up these interfund balances. It's kind of complex and it gets messy and it's kind of hard to do, but
Sorry,
thing.
Is that you?
I just tried to move it a little bit. I'm not touching it again.
But I think we got all that worked out. I don't think we'll have any issues with that going forward, so that is good. Fraud and illegal acts, we were not aware of any fraud throughout the course of our audit. Difficulties encountered, we had the couple of findings, and that's all outlined in the financials. Representation letter, we asked certain representations from management, and those are all outlined in the management representation letter that we get from them. Significant matters and findings, again, those are all discussed in the back of the financials when you get the copy of that. And that's the required communications. The next slide we'll look at balance sheet for governmental funds. We have the 4 major funds and then all the non-major are kind of grouped together in that non-major category. This shows total assets as well as liabilities and then your ending fund balance for each of these funds. Some things to note, general fund is $22 million in assets. 13 million of that is cash and 7 million of it is property taxes receivable. So that makes up the majority of your general fund assets. And then on the liabilities, majority of that is deferred inflows related to property taxes. Capital projects, 9.9 million in assets and 8.8 million of that is cash. Industrial Development Fund, it says 0 across the board. It's got a small balance, but since it just didn't round up to the nearest 1,000, so it shows 0, but there's small amounts of activity in those that you're in. The ARPA Fund, it has the remaining cash from the federal grant, and it is fully deferred until those funds are spent. And at that point, you'll recognize the revenues. One thing to notice is all the fund balances have a positive fund balance. It's something we like to see. It's good. So that is good. The next slide, we look at revenues, expenditures, just the changes for the fiscal year related to these same funds broken out. We'll go over some of the things that kind of change from one year to the next. Capital Projects Fund shows 12.8 million in revenues and other financing sources. 11 million of this is additional debt funding during the year. So then the ARPA Fund shows 2.9 million in revenues, and that is related to the expenditures incurred related to the ARPA Grant Fund during the year. And then the net change for all the funds together was a positive 8.7 million change from one year to the next. So that is a good amount of positive change. The next slide, we look at general fund budgetary highlights. Since the general fund is your main operating fund, we like to look at how those final budget numbers compared to actuals during the year. The negative variance on revenues, it looks like sales tax was just different than what was projected. So we're not concerned with that, as revenues are really hard to project and anticipate. The next thing is, and what is more important that we like to see, is final budgeted expenditures compared to actual expenditures by department. There was a positive variance of 1.1 million, which shows that actual expenditures were 1.1 million less than what was budgeted. So the departments are doing really well at creating budgets and staying within the budgets and helping avoid any further findings or issues. And your total variance of revenues and expenses and other financing sources for actual and budget is 2.7 million. So again, positive variance overall, and it's something we like to see on that general fund. Next slide, we look at your overall fund balance for the general fund. We kind of compare that to total expenditures of the year. We like to see just how healthy your fund balance is. If you didn't have any revenues or funds coming in, how long could you make it on your fund balance if you needed to, which granted that's not likely, but it's just a good measure. There was 14.5 million at the end of the year in the general fund, 23 million in total expenditures, so the funds would be about 7.5 months worth of funds available. So strong fund balance, and this is good, especially with some local governments having issues with not having enough funds and having going concern possibilities. So that's good for the city, especially since the city is growing so much lately. It's nice to have funds available as you expand and continue to grow. The last slide is over the single audit. So if you spend more than 750 grand in federal expenditures in the year, we have to do an additional audit over the compliance requirements and controls in place. So overall, the single audit went really well. We had no issues, no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies. Our opinion on that report was unmodified or clean opinion, as well as the financial statement audit. No findings related to the single audit. The major programs we tested was the ARPA grant, and overall, it went really well. Controls were in place and all the compliance requirements were met for that program. And you don't have the financials here with you. We kind of ran out of time. We're trying to bind them and get them all pretty for you. But hopefully you'll have those early next week, and then you can use this and look at that for reference. Any questions or?
Questions, council? I have no questions. I'm very excited to see this. Thanks to the administration, the department heads, the employees for, to your point, accomplishing this, coming under budget in many areas, and if my math is right, we increased our fund balance over $1 million?
Over 2 million, 2.5 million. Our fund balance went from 12 something to over $14.5 million, which shows us we're sitting in a very strong position.
Yeah, I was looking at here, that 13 was unaudited. Okay, so it's 11.8, about 12 million. Okay. Very strong. Council, any, excuse me, any comments, questions? Nope. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
All right, that will now move us into our next section's consent agenda. This is the approval of the minutes for November 14th, 2024 council meeting, the approval of the September financial report, and declaration of surplus property. Assume everyone's had an opportunity to review those, and I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion approved by Councilmember Witt, and we have a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do we have any discussion? Say none. Roll call, Ms. Squalls.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams. I am so sorry.
Yes. Consent agenda approved. We'll move to the next item, which is communications of citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen to come forward, address the council with any questions, concerns, or accolades. No one is signed in, but if there's anyone in the audience, now is your opportunity. You'll have up to 5 minutes. I see no one. I will now move to communications from council members. I'll start with Vice Mayor Tyler.
So I just want to wish happy birthday to my youngest son, Silas Tyler, who turned 11 yesterday. He's my pride and joy, and he's up at Rock City enjoying the lights right now, so he can't be here tonight.
More important things.
And then I'd like to wish a Merry Christmas to all the citizens of East Ridge and our city staff that make our city great. I'm very grateful for everybody that makes my life easy. I know a lot of people don't know that the city does their job until like their garbage doesn't get picked up or anything, but I never have any of these issues, so I know it's easy to overlook them, and I just think they deserve all of our recognition in the city. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Cagle, you may come back to you, or you're good?
Fine.
Okay. Councilmember Witt?
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Looking forward to January.
Councilmember Ezell?
I have nothing.
I will say, since our last one, we did have a great pavilion groundbreaking on the 15th, so we're still very excited. I see there's a lot of work that's going on over there behind us. Continuation of the town concept that we're actually putting in place here. It's going to be a 12,000 square foot pavilion containing over 7,000 square feet of event space. Then also on the 26th, November the 26th, we had a very special event, Community Thanksgiving here at the Community Center. Meals started around 4:30 and it ran until 7:30. I want to give a big thanks to all the sponsors, contributors, and the amazing volunteers that actually came and helped. We were able to serve over 450 individuals, and that's amazing. And so thanks to Parks and Recs, everyone else, Hannah, for all their work there, for all the great things that's going on in this community. Then I'd also like to mention just this past Tuesday, we had a retirement luncheon for Captain Kent Henson, and he was recognized for 30 years of dedicated service to our city. So we want to thank him for his long service, wish him the best in his retirement. Upcoming in the library, which won an award, drop off your letters for Santa by Monday the 16th, and you'll get a reply just in time for Christmas. So don't forget to include your return address on that letter, and they will write you back. East Ridge City Library, 1517 Tombers Avenue, East Ridge, Tennessee, 37412. Community Center, we're always doing great things there. Cookies for Claus, December the 20th, 5:30 to 7:30. Keep me honest if I missed something. Join them for Fun Festival evening for free cookie decorating with Santa himself. Bring the whole family for a sweet time and holiday cheer. Don't forget to bring your camera for a photo op because jolly old St. Nick will be there. And then lastly, with the holidays coming up, and yes, wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and blessed New Year. Got to mention sanitation. Everybody still wants their garbage picked up and recycled. So Christmas Eve, the 24th, it'll be picked up on Monday the 23rd. Christmas Day, the 25th, it'll be picked up Thursday the 26th. And Christmas Day, which is the first Wednesday, will be picked up on the 2nd, which is Thursday. I think that's all I have. And my voice held in. So I'm going to hand it off to City Manager Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items on update on a couple of projects we're working on. The mayor had addressed the town center. The site development on that project is moving along. Site has been graded and the building pad has been established. So when the area dries out a little bit, we're looking to start on the footers and the foundation. So we'll be seeing that. Not going to see any structural work probably until mid to late January, but it's coming. North Mac Smith Road, Adams Contracting is had notified my office that they will start and commence road widening. This is North Mac Smith Road, north of Ringgold Road, over here where Cracker Barrel. They'll start construction on that March 1st of 2025. And then from that time, excuse me, they will have 270 days to complete that project. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Said I wasn't going to, and I did. All right, let's move into business. So, old business, item A, ordinance number 1212.
An ordinance of the East Ridge City Council to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the city of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the property located at 6728 Ringgold Road from R3 Apartment District and C1 Tourism Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District, and an unaddressed property in the 6700 block of Ringgold Road from C1 Tourism Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District.
Thank you, sir. This is second and final reading. Mr. Howell.
Yes, Mayor and Council, just to recap this, the rezoning of these two parcels located at 6728 Ringo Road seeks to bring their current usage into conforming with zoning regulations. Current use of these two parcels are currently non-conforming to their existing use. By rezoning of the C2 General Commercial District, Camping World will be able to utilize these parcels as intended, thereby establishing a transitional zoning balance with land adjacent to commercial district, eliminating conflicts between the land uses.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
All right, council, I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1212.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 1212.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Ezell and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Claus.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, ordinance number 1212 passed second and final reading. Thank you.
Mayor and Council.
We'll move to item B, ordinance number 1213.
An ordinance of the East Ridge City Council to amend the fiscal year 2025 operating budget, ordinance number 1206, by changing the revenues and expenditures of various funds.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Claus?
Just, sorry. Just taking care of some things in the capital improvement. Believe the drug fund, setting up the federal forfeiture. That's all I can remember at the moment. I don't have my book.
You're doing dual duties today.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you would like to add, or you?
Well, yeah, briefly, we had some transfers in the general fund for the debt service. In the grant fund, we had a couple grants, THSO grant, and we had to, revenue coming in, expenditures going out, basically the same amount of money, but we do have to account for it because it was a grant that we received. Under the forfeiture fund, same thing there, received an award by DOJ, $20,000 in the revenue. We have to put it in the expenditure side. Again, that's a grant that we have to account for in our budget. Economic Development Fund was the sales tax transferred to the debt service we had to be able to pay our debt service payments. And then debt service fund would be the money that came in on the revenue side to pay off our 2024 bond issue of $604,324, which is what we'll be paying for the next 20 years for our enhancements to Camp Jordan Park and our 12,000 square foot multi-purpose center. Capital projects that was mentioned by Finance Director Quall, so that's pretty much what it contained.
Thank you, sir. Council will entertain a motion for ordinance number 1213.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1213.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Since the two that he just added from the first reading
Does it have to have another reading for those two, or can you just add it and finalize it in a second reading?
Yes, you can.
Can you? Okay.
Good question, sir. Anything else? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler. Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance number 1213 passed, second and final reading. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3611.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Waste Connections of Tennessee, doing business as City Waste LLC, for solid waste disposal transfer station services.
Sir, Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir, thank you. First off, I want to make mention that on the second page, second paragraph, where I refer to a red line copy, there isn't a red line copy. I provided to you a copy of the final agreed to by both Mr. Litchford and myself on the city side, and City Waste on their side. So we came to a conclusion last week on this, got the language that we needed to be addressed in Section 3, which was the transfer, Section 10, special representation, and Section 12, inspection of waste, and Section 16, identification. We got all that language taken care of, so we do have a formidable agreement before you, and it is ready for City Council's consideration for approval. I do want to preface some information on this. First off, the city received 3 proposals for disposal services. The lowest bid was from City Waste at $43.75 a ton. The other 2 came in at $53 and $55 a ton. We're talking approximately 800 tons a month. So you multiply by 12, that's what we're looking at. I just wanted to note some figures for you. Our expired agreement that we had goes back to 2021 with a cost of living adjustment made every year. But the last year we've been paying $33.91 per ton. That amounts to, in dollars, based on 800 tons a month, $325,536 annually. That's what we have been paying. With a new increase going up to $43.75 a ton, that was the low bid. That increase is going to go from $325 up to $420,000, $90-some thousand more a year. Cost of disposal services have substantially increased over the past 3 years, just as much as your groceries at the store, probably more. You look at the annual adjustments of the CPI for all urban consumers, you end up with about a 2.6, 2.8% increase from last year's November, December to this year's November, December. However, when you go further down the all items list of the CPI under what is called garbage and trash collection, you will note that that increase goes up, is actually 3.8%. Not 2.6 of the CPI, but 3.8. So the cost of disposal services going up, not just here, but everywhere. And that's kind of reflected in our cost for disposal services for the city of East Ridge. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. It's going up, bottom line. So, council will entertain a motion for resolution number 3611.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 3611.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do you have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt. Mayor Williams.
Yes, resolution number 3611 passed. We'll move into new business. Item A, resolution number 3629.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the execution and delivery of a development agreement with East Ridge Shopping Center GP relating to a project in the Border Region Retail Development District and authorizing certain actions relating thereto.
Thank you, sir. Who's taking,
I can,
who's going to take the lead on this one?
I'll start giving some background on this, and then I will have Mark Litchford go into the detailed analysis. This is Urban Story Ventures. It's 13 acres for development, redevelopment. You have the map in the city. Basically, it's on the north and south side where the old Food City used to be. There's 6 parcels in that 13 acres. Parcel 1, which is the former Food City, is not in the Board of Region District. Urban Story Ventures is ready to start. They're looking at demolition, subdividing, repurposing, facade work, new business, new buildings, and rehabilitating existing buildings. Their starting sales anticipates at 1.4 million, increasing annually 4% projected. However, they do have a baseline that goes back to 2012 that they were paying $323,505 in sales tax. So that has to be subtracted from their projected sales for the next 20 years. Their investment cost is somewhere around $39 million for the 13 acres. We're proposing an 80-20 split between Urban Story Ventures and the city, and their return on investment, or their ROI, actually comes out to about 24.8%, rounded off to 25%. So, Mark Litchford, I'll let you go into the details of the development agreement.
All right, this came in before the Industrial Development Board upon recommended approval unanimously by the Industrial Development Board. This is a project that we have, I think, been excited about for lots of reasons. Perhaps one of the most is that you're seeing the organic movement west. We talked about the border region, and it was triggered by a lot of the interstate frontage type of properties. And as had been hoped by this body and members of the staff and the city manager, the city is seeing the organic growth westward. And so this is another example of how the border region works. Critical in this is the fact that this is all state funded. Not a dollar of this is from local option or from property taxes. These are funds returned back to the city that would not otherwise come to the city, but for the border region program. And this is, as you see from the packet that you've got, about 6 properties. This was a $39 million projected investment that's going to turn around and net significant returns for the city. This has a big baseline on this property, a $323,000 baseline, meaning that the first dollar of border region revenue is not generated until the developer gets above that $323,000. So this is one of the largest baseline projects that we've seen in this program, which is what gives sort of the basis for the 80-20 split. There's a high baseline. Keep in mind that the higher baseline properties is reflective of what was not generating, of what was generating significant revenue back in 2012. The program is intended to incentivize people that come in to develop undeveloped land, but also to recognize properties that was no longer. This is land of the old Food City that was no longer generating, and so this $323,000 is on the city's books every single year. And with the development projected to start at 1.4 million in sales in year 1, all the way up to 28 million, 29 million by 2045, this is about as perfect of a development we could ask for to come in this scenario, given the high baseline. And so you've got the 80-20 split right there. You can see the numbers. City Manager Miller identified that the return on this for developers is around 25%. We've had some developments that could see upwards of around 40% ROI. This developer is dedicated to the city enough that they're still coming, despite the fact they're only going to get a 25% ROI on their development. Keep in mind that these are based upon their projections. The city doesn't take these projections. We ask the developer to provide it to us. And in this case, we know this developer well throughout the Hamilton County. And we have every expectation that they're going to put in a nice retail establishment in the border region that otherwise, if you know, the city had, was not producing the top economic value. And so this is an opportunity for this board, if it approves this, to incentivize the developer coming in, taking underperforming property on the west end and really utilizing it to what appears to be its best use.
Thank you, sir. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3629.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3629.
Second.
Have a motion approved by Councilmember Whitt and a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The old Food City, since it's not in the border region, is that going to keep them from wanting to put something in it, shall we say? Or do we have border region property that we can trade out?
So we've met with Urban Story Ventures multiple times, myself and City Manager Miller, and we've seen some of their plans. They are going to be utilizing the old Food City, so it will not sit there vacant. We don't have an option at this point to do, we had a one-time option to change the border region map that the legislator granted us. That was one and done. So we don't have another option unless we request that again and see if we get honored that, but it has to be done at the state level. Good questions. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Since the Food City's not in it, the baseline tax,
It's deducted, it was taken out.
it was taken
Yes,
out,
sir.
okay? So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings that's going to be built, or that's the buildings up there now?
5 buildings up there now.
Okay, so we,
The sixth one would be, don't look at that map that's at the
Oh.
very back. That actually shows the district, but it really, when you see the buildings are different than, on this map than they are up there now, predominantly because they don't have a final preliminary plan of what they'll be doing with the buildings. Some of them are going to stay and be remodeled, others are going to be torn down. We don't know that yet.
okay, well, that's what I was taking for
I
granted.
know, we don't
because
have
it's in
the
my
spec-
packet.
I can tell
We
you,
don't have the finals. We've seen a
We don't
couple
have the-
renderings, we've seen some renderings.
yeah, we've seen some renderings that looks nice,
Beautiful.
but nothing that's in concrete. I will say that they're looking for a good use for the old Food City. It probably will not be retail because it's not going to get compensated
Maybe-
for the retail.
We can get border region funding.
So they'll probably look at some kind of a service level that goes in there. The hospital, I can tell you that right now, the animal hospital up there, that will be retained. They're keeping that one. There's been some talk about possible expansion to the east. Don't know for sure whether that's going to happen or not. Some of the restaurants on the north side will be retained. So some of those that are there now, those buildings will probably be rehabilitated, but not torn down.
Okay, well, how about the back parking lot across the street on Old
That
Ringo
black parking
Road?
lot that's in the yellow, thank you for bringing that up. That is actively in the border region.
It is.
But so they could build on it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's that is actively on the board, that's within the district. For whatever reason, it's there. Still active.
Okay. And it has no base tax, so,
It's been a parking lot. so
That's right,
whoever
that's what
goes
I'm
in
saying,
there-
yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir. We don't want it to remain, it doesn't pay to keep that as a parking lot.
yeah, but it's not very big anyway, you know?
But if you get a good retail store out of there, it helps.
Yep. Any other questions?
No, that was it.
So, yeah, just to reiterate, the 323,505 baseline that was mentioned in here, that's not including that Food City. If it was in, it would be astronomically even higher. So that was the strategic reason why we did not have it inserted in. And even when we had that one-time change, we didn't put it back in because it would be a big drain. All right, good questions. No other questions? Roll call, Ms. Claus.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes,
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, Resolution 3629 passed. We'll move to item B, Resolution number 3630.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the city manager or his designee to purchase one pole-mounted traffic signal cabinet assembly from the Temple, Inc., to be considered as a sole source purchase.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Crowe.
Yeah, we're just going to get a new cabinet. We do not have a backup cabinet for the city at this time, and we'd like to get it and put it in inventory.
Jeff, why don't you know, how many cabinets do we have out there?
We have 22.
22 cabinets. If one of those is involved in an accident or wreck, how long does it take to get a new cabinet?
30 to 40 weeks.
30 to 40 weeks. Is that if it's in stock, or is that if
Have to be made.
have to be made? So more reason to have one on the shelf. Thank you. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3630.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 3630.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? See none. Roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt, Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3630 approved, passed and approved. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3631.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council to approve a nomination by Vice Mayor Tyler to the East Ridge Library Board.
Vice Mayor Tyler.
Yes, I've reached out to Mrs. Kimberly Myers, and she wishes to remain on the board and has submitted an application, and she is excited to get back on there. She's done good work so far, and I think she'll be continuing to do good work in the future.
Thanks, sir. Council will entertain a motion for the appointment of Kimberly Myers.
Make a motion to accept Kimberly Myers.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Ezell and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? See none. Roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Thank Ms. Myers for her previous service and her continued service. We move to item D, Resolution 3632.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council to approve a nomination by Councilmember Ezell to the East Ridge Library Board.
Councilmember Ezell, I know this is your first one up after the oath. Are you prepared, or do we need to push this, or are you good to make?
Good.
Okay.
I reached out to Rachel McQuarrie. She would like to remain, so I make a motion we keep Rachel McQuarrie.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. Do we have a motion by Councilmember Ezell, a second by Councilmember Witt? Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3632 approved for Ms. McQuarrie. We thank her for her service previously and her continued service. We'll move now to item E, resolution number 3633.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council to waive the fee for use of Camp Jordan Arena by East Ridge Elementary School for their 5th grade graduation.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Stiles?
Yes, Mayor and Council. East Ridge Elementary has requested use of Camp Jordan Arena on Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for their 5th grade graduation. The school will also help with the setup and breakdown of the event. This event does fall under our facility waiver policy that we implemented last year. Staff does recommend waiving the fees for the arena in support of East Ridge Elementary School's graduation.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3633.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 3633.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, resolution number 3633 approved. We'll move to item F, Resolution number 3634.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving addendums to the original interlocal agreements dated June 24, 2021 for the city to provide fire and police services to the city of Ridgeside.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Miller or Chief
I'm
Husson?
going to start it
All
off,
right.
but I have the chief up here to address the fire. Or police. I just promoted you.
Ooh, that was even worse.
Uh-oh, you
He
insulted
said I
him.
just promoted
Am I
you.
in trouble?
That hurts a little right there.
Sorry about that. Okay, the city of East Ridge, we entered into two agreements with the city of Ridgeside back in 2021. Actually, it goes back further than that, probably back before my first stint here, 2016, to provide police protection services to Ridgeside and also to provide fire protection services to Ridgeside. The last agreement that we did in June of 2021 it provided for a 4% increase in the cost of living for the next 2 fiscal years after that. However, there was no provision for a continued increase in the cost of services for fiscal year after June 30th, 2024. These agreements are automatically renewed every fiscal year. There was no provision for a cost of service after June 30th, 24, so I met with the mayor of City of Ridgeside, and we developed an addendum that was approved last year, was addendum number 1, for the period June 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, which we are under now. That amount, the city receives $83,368 for police services and $37,901 for fire services. This goes again until June 30th of 2025. We looked at an addendum number 2 for police and fire interlocal agreements, and we added a 4% increase for that period would be running July 1st, 2025, 6 months from now, till June 30th of 2026. That would up the figures for police, it would go up to $86,703, and for fire, $39,417. Agreements are before you for your consideration for approval. Chief, you want to address the police side since that is the largest one.
Correct. Just from our perspective, we average, I thought it was actually more, but we average 4 calls over there per month throughout the last year. I believe looking at fire stats, they average 3 calls per month over there. Now, in addition to that, the police department, we run 12-hour shifts. So we provide 2 patrols over there each shift for a total of 4 per day. And on average, those, a random or a directed patrol over at Ridgeside on average takes less than 30 minutes. So again, we're devoting under 2 hours per day for one officer that's location. So.
Thank you, sir. Council, I entertain a motion for resolution number 3634.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 3634.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Whitt. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
I've got a copy of all these assist, infinite, public service assistance. How many people do we send over there for an assist of a medical? I'm assuming that's what that is, to help a senior citizen up out of
Correct, and I apologize for my ignorance because that's going to be a more of a fire chief question, and I know he couldn't be here
Okay.
tonight. I know that as a rule, oh, I'm sorry, but I usually think they send 2, but I'll let the expert answer.
Well, the reason why I'm asking that is because I've noticed that it's basically the same 2 or 3 addresses that we go to on these assists.
I can't speak on that, but typically we send an Explorer with 2 guys on it. If they need more help, then we'll send another truck over with them, but it's typically 2 guys in the Explorer.
Okay, so we average 2 every time.
Yes,
Okay.
in the Explorer. Not, we don't send a fire truck unless there's a fire.
Unless, say, the Explorer was out on a medical call or something and we had to send the truck, it's typically 3 guys on it.
That answer.
Anyone else? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Claus.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3634 approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to item G, resolution number 3635.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving an extension deposit agreement between Tennessee American Water and the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, for the extension of a water line to the new town center.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Miller?
Thank you. We have a proposal in the agenda for Tennessee American Water for constructing 160 feet of 6-inch main that will come off of East Ridge Avenue on the easement of Monroe Street to the city's property line. The extension for this fire line, not the domestic, will be a 6-inch fire line, and we'll have a 2-inch domestic line that we basically is out there now. The cost for the fire line extension comes in at $47,327. The agreement basically says that if the price comes in, the actual price comes in lower than $47,327, we get a refund. However, on the other hand, if it's more than that, we don't get a refund. We have to pay the additional. Just to put this in perspective, this is pretty well estimated on the high side. When we did the animal shelter, that was a little less than 160. That one was pegged in at about $42,000. We had to put up for that, and they never expended all of that money. We did get a refund back on that one. So this is in line. We need your approval on this. They need to have the check in their hands before they'll schedule construction.
All right. Thank you, sir. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3635.
I make a motion to approve resolution 3635.
Second.
Have a motion approved by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion?
One question. By this being the water line, we go down and hit rock like we did back there in the back for the retention pond or whatever it was. They don't have to go no deeper than the rock, or are we going to have to be added expense for the rock hound to?
I hope that we don't hit rock when we put that water line in. I really do. I hope we do not hit rock.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
If we do, that cost could go, it's gonna go up. Or they could look at putting we don't, Ryan, I'm gonna have to ask you, if you can help me out on here. How deep do we need, or Mike, how deep do we have to put that water line for fire line?
I believe it's 3 feet.
36, okay, 3 feet. We incurred rock out there a little deeper than the 3 feet. So I'm hoping that, and that was only in the middle of the retention pond. So this is going to go, this line coming off of East Ridge Avenue is going to come behind the school, McBrien School, the southern part of it, and then we're going to have to bring that line in from our property line there to the town center building.
the rock scares me. That's the reason why I ask.
Yep. Thank you. Any other questions? See none, roll call, Ms. Claus.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3635 approved. That is the last item on the main agenda. We'll move to item H, discussion of tentative agenda for January 9th. So mentioned earlier, we will be moving the presentation to Representative Helton Haynes as one of the first things we do. We don't have anything under old business. Under new business, we have an unnumbered resolution, approval of bids for spring, summer athletic uniforms for the Parks and Rec Department, bids opening December the 11th. Ms. Collins.
Yes, Mayor and Council. We opened bids yesterday, and I will have a recommendation for council come January 9th.
Thank you. Any questions, council? I see none. The next item is easement on Springville Park. Mr. Howell.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So a gentleman by the name of Casper Pychenik approached the city requesting a 40-foot easement across city-owned property at 1623 Springville Park. The easement shown on the plat would be situated at the southern end of the parcel and will provide access to a landlocked parcel. It's my understanding that there already is an easement on this property, but this particular 40-foot easement would be to allow WWTA also to have their utilities running there. The easement that is off Hope Lane does not contain any type of sewer main in that area, so the closest sewer main is on Spring Creek there. I'm sorry, Springville. Yes, sorry.
Thanks, sir. Council, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So he is not planning on building a road on this 40-foot?
There will be yes, that we don't know yet.
We will talk to him and ask him that very question, Councilman.
Well, okay. So if he builds a road on it, that makes it non-usable to the city, because we've discussed future plans as of using this property for the dog park. And another thing I want to ask, or be corrected on, when we purchased all of this land, we purchased this with FEMA money. So are we allowed to disperse of this land, or we've got to continue using it as our own personal use, green space? I just don't believe that, I believe FEMA's gonna,
I wasn't aware that FEMA.
yes, sir, FEMA give us the money to buy all of those houses up through that side,
Yeah.
and all of them on the other side, except for one, because the guy refused to sell it. So, FEMA might keep us from giving this away, but I'd like to see it not be used as a road in and out of there because of that house that sits right there. And we don't know what he's gonna build back there, or what he wants to build.
I think what we may want to be looking at is just an easement for the sanitary sewer with no road. Because I don't want to get involved with this conversion again that the city did back in, I guess, 19 or 20. Because we're giving away 40 feet times whatever the length of that is. And if we use FEMA money to do it, they're going to come back, being a federal agency and knowing and work with them throughout the past 30, 40 years, they're going to come back and say, wait a minute, we use money to buy that. We want to enter into an agreement to do this exchange.
Mm-hmm.
We did several years ago with Alexander Jordan. I don't necessarily want to go that path.
Yeah.
But if it's just an easement, and then he's going to have to find another way for a roadway to come in.
Correct me if I'm not wrong now, the way this survey is done here, they have cut out a 30-foot easement for him there,
40-foot easement.
or a 40-foot.
Yes, sir.
But there's already a 50-foot.
Hold on, he's
Okay.
talking about the one off of Hope Lane.
Off Hope Lane.
Yes, sir, off of
Okay.
Hope Lane. Okay. So there's already a 50-foot, so if he has already got that 30-foot, well, then he's, by him being the property owner or the user of that first 30-foot, then he gets the rights to the other 20-foot if he's building the road out there. They're on that 50-foot right-of-way. Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so he has entrance and exit out of this thing.
He does, yes.
Okay, so he's not landlocked.
He's not landlocked.
Okay, okay. I mean, I read somewhere over here where he was stating he was landlocked.
He did.
Okay, okay, so he's not landlocked, so, this 40-foot that he's wanting us to grant him, I'm not sure we could do it because of FEMA. But if he's just wanting to use it for access to get the sewer and the water back there, because that house that was sitting there has already got sewer and water access to that piece of property. So I have no objection to that, but I'm not sure we could give it to him even for that. So, someone needs to check on that.
I would like to say that, yes, this property all was purchased with block grant funding through FEMA. I did contact the state on this, what could be utilized, our property could be utilized. Normally, when it's purchased with block grant funding, it remains a green space in perpetuity, right? So you are allowed through that block grant funding to, design stuff like restrooms and stuff like that. I can forward those emails that I had with the state to Mark and to verify that that was the conversation that we had, that as long as we didn't disrupt anything on the uses that were allowed in that block grant funding, it is permissible to grant an easement across the city-owned property. So just to let everybody know that.
Looking at it, so we'd be looking at a utility easement.
Utility easement.
Okay, not a road.
No,
Okay,
no.
okay, I just,
She already has the road off of Hope.
yeah, that's the way I read it, so.
And remind me again, there is no sewer coming off of Hope Lane?
Hope Lane, no.
So even these houses that we see here on Hope Lane, they don't have sewer?
It's very well they could still be on a septic at this point.
Okay.
I can't verify that, but,
Okay.
and they might be connected to Catoosa. That I don't know, Mayor. But as, right now, looking at the WWTA, the infrastructure of WWTA, it runs on Springvale. There's a sewer main on Springvale. There is no sewer main on Hope.
Okay, sounds like we have,
How about on state line down there where it comes down to Springville, turns on state line?
Not that I'm aware of,
You're aware of,
Councilman Cagle,
okay.
yes.
any other questions? Sounds like we need a little more, we'll have a little more information by the time we have the next meeting. Any other questions for now? I see none. All right, that's the last item on the tentative agenda. Is there any other item of business we need to add? All right, I do know of one, we need to add the council appointment to the planning commission. That is something that occurs after election cycle. So our current appointment was Councilmember Witt. So we will need to be making a decision that this council would like to appoint to the planning commission. The statute, the way it's written is the mayor is in there by default. He can designate someone, but then the other 3 appointments are by the mayor, and then we have 1 appointment by the council. So that is coming up for this next council meeting. And if there's nothing else, I wish everyone again a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and this meeting is adjourned.